Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Welcome to Floating in Dreams. Today we are going to be talking about my Dr. Martens shoe collection, because if there's one shoe brand that I have bought so many shoes from over the past couple of years, it's Dr. Martens. I have been buying Dr. Martens shoes for more than a decade, so I've got quite a few here. Let's get started. Welcome if you're new here, welcome if you're a returning visitor. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Today we are going to be talking about something different from the usual fare. Mainly this channel is about eyeshadow palettes, S's and Catrice reviews, because I love trying out those products and I like getting use out of my products as well. And I do think that this fashion video today really sort of hones into that, because Dr. Martens has been my tried and true go-to shoe brand for years. Now, I'm a little bit of a shoe freak, not gonna lie. I have a lot of shoes. None of them designer or like, I'm not a sneakerhead. Nothing like that applies to me. I just love how any shoe can make or break an outfit. So for me, shoes are the ultimate accessory, you could say. And I had just accumulated quite a few Dr. Martens again. And I think I did a video like this a couple of years ago, so this is going to be an update from that, because I definitely didn't declutter any of these. So what this video is going to be is I'm going to talk you through all of my Dr. Martens shoes. I think I have 14 or 15 pairs, and then I'll also be showing you them on in little cutaways so that you have an idea of what these look like on my feet. Now, you have to know that I'm a true size 4 or a European 37, so a UK 4, European 37, and I think that's a US women's size 7. I only have one pair of shoes that does not have that size. Everything else I have in my size, and I tend to prefer their more unisex styles because I've got pretty wide feet. However, if you're someone with narrow feet, then I would recommend looking in their more women-only styles, because they do have a couple of like renditions of their classic unisex styles that are geared more towards a narrower foot. So that may be good. I personally really like going into store and try things on rather than just, you know, buying them online willy-nilly. I definitely think that going into a Dr. Martens store is the way to go if you want to try on your first pair of Docs. Not because the sizing is very inconsistent, but because it's just really helpful. And I'll talk you through, when I show you some of the pairs that I have, how I ended up deciding which ones to get. So there's a lot here, so let's get started. So my first ever pair of Docs, and this is going to kick in the first section of this video, because I have several pairs of their classic 1460s. And now this is the first pair that I've bought. By the way, if these look gross, I'm also going to try and avoid touching the bottoms of all of these, because these are some of my most worn shoes. So these are scuffed and beat up, and especially this pair, because these have been through the ringer. I'm not, like, look at the noses on this one. Like, they just, I wear these things, okay? And I've had these since, I think, ooh, how long have I been traveling to London? I think for about more than a decade now. So these, I think, are from like 2009, 2010-ish. I remember this really being like an investment pair of shoes at the time. I was just working my first full-time job and I treated myself to a pair of shoes I had wanted to own for so long. I bought them in the cherry red smooth because that's just what I wanted to have at the time. I did change the laces in the past year because I just didn't find myself wearing these as often anymore. And now that they have the, I believe they're brown and yellow laces, I feel that they just have something different to them, and now I really like wearing them again. So I like how Dr. Martens does give you options with their like accessories line, which are like their laces and also their socks. Got a few of those as well. That it's just helpful to spruce them up if you've had them for a while and you find the black laces boring. You can very easily like replace the laces and add a pop of something fun, because now I feel I can wear them again. These were the most difficult to break in for me. Out of all of the ones that I have, everything has been broken in or didn't need breaking in, but save for one pair, which still gives me blisters every time I wear them, which we'll get to towards the end. But these took me a good 3 years or so to really break them in. My issue with these boots is this bit at the back. So that's where my my Achilles heel would just rub against it and I would have these massive blisters. I ended up being able to break them in by either putting like duct tape over it, so on the inside of the shoe, and this sounds really crazy, but putting a playing card in the back of your sock. So bending it like lengthwise and like putting it around your foot, that's really going to protect the heel. And as your foot moves around, don't buy the most expensive deck of cards, but you know, if you have a very cheap pair, very cheap deck of cards, you can just wear it every single time you wear the shoes. So that's my tip for breaking in the back end of a pair of Docs. I therefore never went with the classic smooth style again. The other ones that I have all have a certain type of leather that's far more pliable and didn't give me that many issues. So yeah, for me, the back of these Docs took ages to really break in, and now that they're like really nicely, like the leather has been molded to my foot, they are super comfortable and they are like wearing slippers. So yeah, these are the oldest pairs that I have, and these are just, I still love them till this day. And I actually have several colleagues at my old job who were like, I saw you wearing Docs and now I want to own a pair too. And then I had several colleagues actually buying Dr. Martens because I was wearing them. So yeah, I did start a bit of a trend at my old place. So yeah, these are my 1460s Cherry Red Smooth. Now the next pair of 1460s I got in the Heart Life leather. I'm not sure if they still do it, but they seem to do their like standard styles in like more pliable, easier to break in leathers. These are not as tough to break in, and they also have a more of a matte look. So these look more like combat boots than other Dr. Martens styles, and these I didn't have to break in. You can also tell the difference here because already this top part is also very like movable. Like the other ones are far more stiff, and especially that edge around your ankle can also be quite painful at first. These you can also see they have the creases, but they're not like that molded because these just didn't need that much breaking in at all because the leather is so much easier to walk in and wear. So I got these in the black because I was like, because I wasn't wearing the red ones all that often, because I feel I need to wear like a burgundy top or a burgundy cardigan or a burgundy skirt, like something else has to match the red for me to be able to pull off that pair. So I wanted something that I could wear more often, and I love black boots in the fall and winter season. These I wear when it's super gross outside, when it's rainy. Like there's this park around, like just around the corner from my house, and I need to walk through it if I want to get to the public transport in my neighborhood. And it's always flooded. Whenever it rains, it floods and there's all these puddles. So these have been lovely to, you know, navigating the puddles, which is why they're looking a little gross perhaps, but these are just lovely to have. A good pair of standard boots. I didn't change the laces in this one, and I was really happy with these. These were a little bit more expensive than the standard pairs, I do have to say. But yeah, like I said, these are just a great staple to have, and I'm glad I got these in the Heart Life because they were just so much easier to walk in. And my final pair of 1460s I bought in the summer sale last year. So I do buy Dr. Martens on sale through their website most often if I buy them. I have found that there they just have the best offering if you're trying to find them on a deal. And I was able to buy this pair and another pair of like more like winter boots for like the price of like a standard pair, what these would have cost if you would have bought them full price. But yeah, these are brown, and Dr. Martens doesn't do a lot of brown shoes, so I always struggle to find them. But I love wearing brown as well, and these have the lining all around the shoe. I've got several pairs of these right now. These are so lovely. And these, again, I didn't have to break in. I have already worn them once or twice, and these were comfortable right off the bat. I need to show you the bottoms of these as well, because these also have, I hope it's not too gross, but these have an extra grip sole. So I really specifically bought these because if it's very snowy, we do get snow and ice sometimes. It doesn't seem to be happening this winter, but we do get icy winters, and then it's good to have a pair of like non-slip, can withstand any sort of climate kind of boots. And they have this suede top that you can actually, if you'd like to, you can fold it over like that. But that also means that there's no edge here, so you don't have that like edge that you sometimes need to break in. And these, I believe, are called the Snow Plow. I think that's the name of the leather. So this leather has also been treated to withstand like sleet, and like if the roads have been treated against ice, that it doesn't affect your shoes, because a leather shoe can very easily be penetrated by snow if it gets really wet, or like that salt that they put on the roads can really sort of eat at your leather shoes. So this is sort of like treated for that. And I'm not sure anymore what the name of the colorway is. But yeah, these were on sale. They don't seem to do them this year. I didn't see them in their regular lineup. But maybe they bring them back if they do go on sale. I'm not sure. Yeah, these are the Snowplow 1460s. So now we're getting a little bit out of order here, but I wanted to, you know, continue with lace-up boots first. And one of the other pairs I have, they no longer seem to be doing, but these are the Emmeline boot, and they are a much shorter boot, as you can see, and they look a little bit like, I see a lot of like fashion bloggers wearing this, I believe they're by Dear Francis, they're called the Park boot, and these kind of look similar, I feel. I bought them in the black smooth version. I think these also came in the cherry red, which was very deep and dark, and it didn't look as red as the 1460s. It was like more like a blackened red, you could say. Those I sort of went between the two for a while, and I sort of, the way I go about my Dr. Martens purchases is that on average I buy like one pair a year. So very often I will buy a pair, and then I go onto the website or go into a store and I browse a store, and then I go like, okay, this is going to be my next pair. And then when I, you know, at a point in time where I'm like, oh yeah, now I can do it. So I think about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, I think I bought these pre-pandemic. I'm pretty sure I did. Because I did wear these to work. So yeah, bought them like 2 years ago, and they were so comfy right off the bat. I was afraid these were going to rub me and that I would have to break them in, but again, this leather is a little bit more pliable, and I'm not sure if I told you what these were called, but I believe these were called the Emmeline, and like I said, they no longer seem to be doing this. They have five holes for the laces, so they're much shorter, and they're more like an ankle boot. And I have a lot of ankle boots, but a lot of them are Chelsea boots, which we'll get to in a minute. And I just wanted a good pair of black lace-up boots that weren't that high. And that's what these, that's the void that these filled in my wardrobe. And then in the recent, I think it was in the Black Friday sale, I spotted these. And these are, I think, the replacement for the Emmeline's. These are their 101. And I haven't seen these around for a while, but they seem to have been doing them previously. So I think that the way that Dr. Martens work is that because a lot of their styles are so similar, they seem to like discontinue them and then bring them back again a few years later. So I think that if you're very patient, maybe the Emmeline might come back someday, who knows. But this is like a shorter pair than the 1460s. So they're the 101, which I believe they say on their website is their boot made for police officers, if I'm not mistaken. And I got them in the cherry red smooth, and these are in a vegan leather, and because they were on sale and my size was out of stock, I decided to risk it and get the size down, and they're actually really good. Now these have been very painful. I have had major blisters when wearing these. Again, the back end of the shoe is where it goes wrong for me, and these were also pinching me quite badly around here. So what I did with these, I just put on socks, put these on, and then I took my hair dryer and I heated up the leather, and then I just walked around my house in these shoes until the leather had cooled down, and that has given me a little bit more room here, so now they no longer pinch me. And with Dr. Martens, I do think that their sizing is quite generous. Since I have white feet, I very often need a 4 in a lot of my shoes, because else my foot will not fit. However, lengthwise, my feet aren't that long, you could say. So I can get away with a size down, because I do have shoes, and I've owned shoes in the past that I've worn down to oblivion that are actually a size 36. So that's what these ones are. And I I shouldn't touch the bottoms. I know, I'll wash my hands afterwards, don't worry. So yeah, these are that really sort of like black and cherry red, and I believe that this is also going to like rub down, and then the shade should like change, I believe. So these I thought were a cute addition. I got them on sale for like, I think almost half price. So that was a really, really good deal. And I thought they were really lovely. So yeah, this is then a shorter pair, like the ankle version of the 1460 for me, if that makes sense. Now this pair of shoes is going to look horrible because these I only wear when it snows. I think this was actually my second pair of Dr. Martens I ever bought. And I no longer know what these were called. I may have to, like, if I find my old video, I may have listed it there because I think back like a few years ago I still remembered. But these are just, you know, plain boots, like riding boots almost, like just chunky boots that have the sheepskin lining throughout it. Also in the foot, you could technically wear these without socks and you would be fine even in the winter. And these I remember buying, like I very much ummed and ahed, like, do I want these? Yes or no? They are so expensive, even though if you were to buy these right now, I'm pretty sure they would be even more expensive because like my first pair of Dr. Martens was far cheaper than they are right now. I do remember that. They've about doubled in price, I think, in the past decade. But yeah, these were very expensive for me at the time, and I was like, how often will I wear them? And then right after I bought it, like 2 days later, we had a huge snowstorm, and I've been wearing this every year so far. Whenever we've had any sort of like wintry weather, this is what I go to. And sometimes what I'll even do is that I'll wear these on my way to work, and then I bring another pair of shoes for like the styling reasons. But yeah, these are just such a great staple. I bought them again more than a decade ago, so these are such, like, these are just so practical, and that's why I love them. I mentioned loving Chelsea boots, and I had never tried their Chelsea boots because I was like, I already have so many. But a lot of my standard pairs of Chelsea boots were actually starting to look a little worse for wear, and they were due an upgrade, you could say, which is why I ended up looking into some of their Chelsea boots. I think, yeah, last year, 2021, and then I bought these. These are the Atlas Chelsea boots. So their Chelsea boots are the 2975, I believe. That's the number, if I'm not mistaken. I always forget, but that I believe is the number. And again, I went into store to try them on because I wanted to get their vintage leather, which is still handmade in England. But that was so tough. And these stitches on the sides really cut into my foot. Whereas when I put these ones on, I had no pain issues. Like straight right off the bat, these were comfortable, easy to wear. I didn't have to break them in. It was so lovely. So that's why I ended up choosing these ones, and I thought it was fun that these had the yellow stitching along the sides. They no longer do these though. However, they seem to have brought back a similar pair for the spring season where the back of the shoe isn't this, they're not entirely black. I believe that the color is charcoal gray, but now they do it with like a lighter gray part in the back, so that has to be your style. But they seem to like bring this style only into the collection for like the spring season. And I think I got them in May, I think, yeah. So these have been my go-to. These already look very scuffed. I've owned them for less than a year, and I knew come fall time, I would be wearing these a lot, and this has been my go-to shoe, you guys. The entire fall winter season this year, I have pretty much neglected every single Chelsea boot I have over this one. Like, that's just what I've been doing, which is why I got 2 more pairs. I know, I'm terrible. Actually, the first pair I bought are these ones, and these I've only worn out once so far. These are a little bit thicker, they need a little bit more breaking in than the black ones. These are in the olive green, and they are their Leonore Chelsea boot, and they again have the furry lining. I bought them together with the snowplow ones, so the brown 1460s. They were in the same summer sale, and so I ended up paying half price for these, which I thought was a good deal. And I wanted to own a pair of the Chelsea boots in another color. But in the Chelsea boots, the options are very, very limited, I find. So that's why I thought this could be a nice addition for the fall season. I love these like murky, earthy tones in the fall season for sure. Like I said, I've only worn them like once so far, and these do kind of like rub my, like the arch of my foot a little bit here. But that will be like, that I will be able to break that in quite easily, I think. And then this winter, because I realized how much I was wearing the black ones, I was like, I need myself a brown pair. And these are the Crazy Horse Chelsea boot with the yellow stitching, which they just came out with. I only spotted these on the website a few weeks ago and snatched them up right away. I knew I wanted to own these shoes, but the regular ones that don't have the yellow stitching, my foot cannot go in here. Like, my foot will not slip in there. And this is why I'm recommending you to always go to a Dr. Martens store to try things, because different styles, different leathers will just have a little bit more room or not, or whatever it is you're looking for. And these, I still had a 10% discount code, so I was like, I'll put it towards these shoes. And the Crazy Horse leather is apparently like a horse saddle kind of leather. So again, this is going to lighten and change color as they are being worn and as they get like scuffed. The more you wear these, the more grungy they will look. And that really appealed to me. And I just thought that, you know, now that I have these two pairs, I really don't need any more Chelsea boots in my life. But yeah, these are going to last me a lifetime, I'm sure. So I'm really happy with that purchase. And by the way, these I didn't have to break in at all. I've been wearing them loads already. No rubbing, no blisters, no painful feet at all. Now, a shoe I don't hear a lot of people talking about. If they talk about Dr. Martens, it's always about the boots, I feel. But they also do shoes. They do quite a lot of like Oxfords and Derbies. This is their 1461, so they came out with the boot in 1960, and this one was released a year later. And I just have them in this standard black pair. These are my favorite shoes to bring if I'm traveling. I will very often take these with me on the plane because they're very heavy. But this has been my go-to shoe for travel because I can walk around in these all day and my feet won't get sore. So this and a pair of sneakers is always what I pack whenever I travel. So this is why these, again, very scuffed, very gross looking. I don't wear these a lot in my day-to-day life anymore. I probably should, because these are such a good shoe. Because they're more of like a shoe. They can go with everything. They can go with dresses and jeans, especially with dresses and skirts. I like this, especially now that black tights seem to be having a moment. Black tights, these kind of shoes, and a mini skirt. That was the look for years, and I still would go back to that look for sure. Or with a cutesy dress, like anything that you can, like if you have a cute floral dress and this pair of shoes, it's just going to grunge it up instantly. But the second pair that I got were actually the patent leather version of it, and I just recently bought myself some yellow laces to go in here, because they do also have the yellow stitching, and I thought it would add a pop of something bright and fun in these shoes. Again, I no longer wear these as often. I fell off my bike once while wearing these, so the toes on the right shoe are very scuffed and they don't look that patent anymore. But this was my go-to pair of shoes with very cutesy dresses for years. These, I believe, have a slightly narrower fit around here. So these, again, took a little bit more like breaking in. And I do feel that if I wear these for a very long time, my toes get a little bit pinched in these. So they do start to hurt throughout the day, you could say. Because perhaps they're just a touch too narrow for my feet, but I just thought these are so great. And now that they have the bright fun pop of yellow, I think it's a nice contrast with these shoes, and I can see myself wearing this loads, like a black and white summer dress and like a cutesy yellow cardigan. That will be a great look. Now, because I like the black ones so much, I also got these brown ones. Again, super scuffed around the toes because I've had these for years. And these have always been just slightly too big for me. I usually put like a pair of extra like padding in the shoe just to fill them out a little bit. I believe these are also in a vegan leather. And again, I have no idea what these were called because they were only around for a little while. Again, I just recently changed out these laces for the brown and yellow because I just thought that that really gave this shoe a little bit more. They used to come with like standard brown laces. These, again, No need to break them in. These were comfortable right off the bat. These are, again, a little battered and bruised, but this was my option, like back when I wore the black ones all the time. This was my brown pair. So just like what I've been doing with the Chelsea boots more recently, that's what I used to do with these. And then almost there, but this is the Charlotte shoe that they used to do. Again, no longer available. And I just wanted something that looked more like a brogue rather than a standard Oxford. And that's why I bought these. These are really cute. And these are actually the laces that came in this pair, which I've changed around because I just think that it adds a little bit more contrast to the shoe. Again, the laces that used to come in here were lighter. And these are the most painful pair of Docs. I've never been able to break these in. The back of these shoes keeps rubbing my ankles. They just do. They are very much broken in, but what happens with these is that because they're quite soft here, my foot kind of flops out of it in the back. So these have always been a little bit of an ill fit. I still love wearing them. I wear them for style reasons. Every spring I put these on and go like, oh yes, after an hour of wearing these. So I just need to remember to just always put on band-aids when I want to whip these out. And then I'm fine. But yeah, these are just really cutesy. Again, both of these, great with dresses, great with skirts, especially this pair. Like, this is such a fun pair for the springtime, I find. And finally, we have my newest acquisition. This kind of happened because I went into store to try on the brown Chelsea boots. And I had been sort of like umming and ahhing about these ones for a while as well, and then I bought these. Because these did fit me, and I was able to get my foot in, but these, I think, again, need a little bit of breaking in. These are the Adrian loafer in the Arcadia cherry red. So this is, again, that very like deep blackened red. Haven't worn these out yet, so I don't know yet, but I'm just suspecting that these need a lot of breaking in because they are quite flat here. But I just think they're cute with the tassel, everything that it's got going on. And I have been loving mom jeans with a loafer. Like, that's going to be the look for spring for me. Mom jeans and a loafer. That's just going to be it. Like, turning up the bottom, having your sock pop out a little bit, and then a pair of loafers. That's going to be my vibe for spring of 2022. And these are going to fit in very nicely with that look. So that's it. There you have it. Those were all of the pairs of Dr. Martens that I wanted to show you in today's video. Please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make 3 new videos a week, so I hope you would like to stay tuned because I will be coming back with more. And I like to do like 1 or 2 fashion videos every single month. So hope to see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.